Hello everyone, this is Kat. Before we start today, I just wanted to let everyone know the universe has decided to keep us humble, so we had to use our backup audio today. So please bear with us. We still wanted to post our conversation with the Travel Foodie Guy because it was such a good conversation and so fun. So please bear with us. It was a really good conversation about the 5 love languages. Yes, please enjoy.
Hey y'all, this is Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey Kat. And this is the Fake Ass Book Club. Wait, can we both say it or no?
Alright, well welcome back you guys. It's your girl Moni.
And this is Kat.
What's up, Kat?
Oh my god, I'm just out here dripping in all this finesse.
I know. Well, welcome back guys to the Fake Ass Book Club. I feel like we were just here.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we were just here.
I feel like it was a really long gap before and now it's just back to back. But it's only because it's Friday and Saturday.
I know, it just feels weird. So we're back at the Media Inc. Multimedia Studios. You guys, if you're watching on YouTube, you will notice our new old background. We were here last week. So yeah, welcome back. So we have a fantastic book today, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And we also have a fabulous guest. We are serving up a meaty episode because we have the Foodie Guide, okay? The Traveling Foodie Guide. He's here with us today, and
I am FABP.
Let's go. We're doing great. How are you?
Oh, I feel real great. I'm glad to be here.
You're looking blessed.
And highly favored too.
Both. Oh wait, you can't cuss after you just said.
No, right? I'll take that out.
Okay.
For the Lord.
Yes. So
For the Lords.
For the Lords. Well, thank you for agreeing to be here. We appreciate
course.
you spending your Friday with us to record. So you guys, let me give you a little brief synopsis about this book. The 5 Love Languages is a popular self-help book written by Gary Chapman. It was first published in 1992. The book has been widely recognized and has sold over 13 million copies in English alone. And the structure around this book, the concept is that people have different ways of expressing and receiving love. So Chapman introduced the idea of 5 primary love languages. And this is how people communicate their affection, and we're going to get into it, the meat and the potatoes, and all of the things. So I'm excited to dive into this book. Thanks for recommending it.
Yeah, I think it's a great book. It's one of my favorites, actually.
Yeah, I can't wait to to dig into that like a good meal, basically. So
see what you did there.
Yeah, you know, a little funny,
She's like that. She's
funny, trying it up in there. But before we kind of get into the book, you guys, let's dedicate this episode like we always do. So over your hearts. All right, guys. So thank you to our patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you for your support. All of our listeners, new and old, thank you. If you are not a patron, you guys should sign up. The link is in the bio. We have a lot of fun bonus content for you guys. And I also wanted to dedicate this to all of the culinary geniuses in my life. Like, I grew up around people who can cook, okay? Like, we're talking men, women, everybody. So, like, I grew up having to learn how to cook. It was one of the main ways that I feel like I felt love from my family. So this book is right on time for me. So I want to dedicate it to just everybody who's ever fed me a delicious meal and everybody who's taught me to cook over the years. So what about you?
I love that. Yes, and that. My dedication. I'm choosing today.
Go for it.
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yes, because she
Yes,
she was never gone.
Mm-mm.
Not for real. They tried to keep her out. They were covering her on the BBC, British Broadcasting Company. I was listening to them covering it because they were covering Trump getting the mugshot, and they were. I was like, what other countries must think of us? But like Sha'Carri, they were talking about Sha'Carri and actually playing clips, and she is mouthy, and I love this.
She was not talked to certain media, yeah. So
Yeah, she was like, yeah, I see what y'all are doing. So yeah, a shout out to her, to all the mouthy weed smokers. And then also a side dedication to Futurama.
Okay.
I mean, they're back with the new season. They've been brought back for
making new.
They brought it back for the 3rd time. They sure did, and they did a revamp of one of my favorite episodes, Parasites Lost. That kind of taught me about the intestinal microbiome.
No, I don't.
She does this to me.
Nobody remembers.
She knows how excited I was. Yeah. Yoink. Took it out. She snuffed it right out. I don't care. I still love it. It was Parasites Lost because it was the intestinal microbiome and how it taught me about, that was my first lesson in that. So they brought that back about how like it can make you smart but it can also make you dumb. It was really great. So I really appreciate that. And about how like what you eat affects your intestinal microbiome. I think that's why I'm so happy.
Well,
I'm gonna throw it over to you.
I just want to dedicate it to my mom, only because she is so proud of her baby boy. I've come a long way, and she's seen me there every single step of the journey. And she's going through some issues right now, but what she's most proud of is the accomplishments that I've made in my life and this newfound foodie journey that I'm on, and all the benefits and the great opportunities that it's brought to me. She's watching from afar on her phone literally all the time. So, hey mom, this is dedicated to you. So thanks for birthing me. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here having all these amazing opportunities. So shout out to you. You're the real MVP.
First of all,
dedication over. Dedication over. That's how you end that. Like we look frivolous now. Like our dedications were like.
I mean, who takes the higher honor than mom, right? Yeah. Moms don't get the love and appreciation.
Wait,
and the support.
what's your mom's love language?
I don't know, honestly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that again because I was with you. What's your mom's love language?
I actually don't know, but right after I leave here, I'm gonna call her and find out what it is.
You can't guess? Okay.
If I had to guess what my mom's love language is, I think she would love gifts. I think she's a gifter. Like she's big in the receiving gifts department. It brightens her day. I just recall like moments of like we grew up on the south side of Chicago, so not privileged, not having a lot. And I just noticed times where I like would give her gifts, how excited she would be about it. So I just watch her energy when she receives gifts. I think she'd be really big, and her love language be gifts. I'm gonna find out too after the episode.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know. Give us an update. I love that. So I want for our listeners, if you guys aren't familiar with this book, even though it seems to be wildly popular, Kat's gonna give you a little bit about the author.
Sure.
Mr. Gary Chapman.
Gary Chapman. Yeah. No, professional. Gary Chapman, PhD, author, speaker, and counselor, has a passion for people and for helping them form lasting relationships. Chapman is a well-known marriage counselor and director of marriage seminars. The 5 Love Languages is one of Chapman's most popular titles, topping various bestseller charts for years, selling over 20 million copies, and has been on the New York Times bestseller list since 2007. God damn. That's a lot. I'm just learning this.
And I just found out about it like over a year and a half ago.
Oh really? Yeah. So this is new to you.
That's
awesome. I kind of like that though. That's the
I do too. Like that's because I feel like this is something that's been, like I said, it's been on my radar since the early, late 2000s.
Yeah.
So y'all knew about it way back then.
Oh, I didn't reread it. I'm just going off my reading of it from back then.
Gotcha.
And I checked it out at the library. Libby app for those who like audiobooks like myself. I'm a busy lady. I got
Who's the narrator?
I think it's him.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah, he's got
get paid twice, Gary. That's smart.
You know what I'm saying? Stack your money. But yeah, it's about a 5-hour audiobook. Not if you listen to it on like 1.5 speed. Like
you're right.
But it was like a 208-page book or whatever, and I read it in I can't remember the year. I don't know if it was the early 2000s probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice revisiting it though.
Okay, cool.
Like because I've been married for 16 years.
Okay.
And so like rereading it now and thinking about my kids and my husband, I'm like, okay, it was nice to revisit it and have it fresh.
So does it hit different now?
It does.
Than it did back then?
That's the thing about, art, I think. You know what I mean? Like you take it in. Have you ever watched like a movie from when you were a kid and you're like, yo, sexual innuendo. We don't want, we don't like this. Let's keep it.
But I was watching Revenge of the Nerds. I was like, oh no.
It gets crazy. But to the point of like just revisiting it, you see it with new eyes for sure. So I want to kind of give the listeners a little bit about what the love languages are. So we have 5 different love languages. So, because he's the counselor, you guys heard Kat kind of say that, and he did a lot of marriage counseling, and so he was like, just through my interactions, I was able to put them in big categories of words of affirmation. So basically, hearing the words you want to hear, I love you, that kind of stuff, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Gary in his book explains that understanding and speaking these languages can enhance relationship and improve communication. So I want to know from you, we talked about your mom's personal love language. What is yours? Like, how do you think you show love and then also receive it? Because those can be different.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. So my primary love language is actually words of affirmation. And before I even found out about the love languages book, I've had to take DISC assessments. So like in the business world, and some people may be familiar with that, where they pretty much give you this big long quiz and they break it down into 4 different categories: a DI, a S, a C. And a big extrovert like me always seeks like validation and confirmation for things. It's kind of what fills my cup up. It's like a recharging of a battery and gives you all those emotions and feelings you need. See? That's it right there.
Yeah.
Like I was at 99 before I came, now I'm at 100 because she said that. And physical touch is my second one. And
I knew you were gonna say that. That's why I did the playful nudge. I knew that was so crazy.
She took the cheat sheet. It's actually more psychological than it actually is physical because it gets your endorphins going. A lot of people like to think that like physical touch, their mind immediately goes to like sex, but it's not really all about sex. It's more about intimacy and connection and feelings and emotions. I'm also a Cancer too, and if you know a lot about cancers, we're about like highly emotional people, so there's certain stimuli that we need.
They're not gonna be able to because I'm doing this for a long, long time. It's gonna be
I don't want to say sadly, but it's the truth. The way I kind of show it is more so along the lines of gifts and physical touch. Gifts more so because I gotta brag on myself. I work really hard in a lot of aspects of my life.
You be everywhere.
Yeah, I'm everywhere, and that's the sad thing. That's all. The thing is, where you see me online, that's just half the battle. Like I have so many other things that I do in life, and I'm even more places, right? So for me, working so hard, I accumulate whatever my perception of success is, and I want to share that with the people who I love in my life. So gifts is a big part of how I show my love language. I want to share the fruits of my labor with the people that I love. And physical touch, I believe in the power of reciprocity. I know how it feels when I receive physical touch, what it does to me, so I want to reciprocate that as well. So those are my 2 given ones.
That's pretty good.
Great.
What's yours?
My love languages. Those are my love languages.
I know.
You're a Cancer too, right?
You know what's crazy? I was just thinking. So I don't know which one is yours, but I would say like gift giving is something that, because it's something that I know if I give Kat a gift, she's going it gets her going. You know what?
I actually, it's cool with you because you get me, but gift giving actually gives me a ton of anxiety.
Well, I think the way you receive it, I think you like getting gifts.
Sure. I love stuff.
Yeah.
And you know my taste, so I'm never anxious because you know what I like. Sometimes when people get me stuff, I feel bad because I'll be like, I don't like this.
That's the only problem with gifts.
But to me, it's so disrespectful to not enjoy a gift. Like somebody thought about you. You know what I mean?
So you ain't never got a gift and you put on the fake from like,
I did.
Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. So they turn around, you're like, man, ain't this some bull?
So what is
I be fake and I'm like, thank you so much. I put in so much. And then I don't know, I found something to do with it. I don't know.
you re-gifted to somebody else.
I think it depends on who it is. What if it's the person you're spending your life with? Don't you think they deserve to know if they like or don't?
I think this is a fun time to remind everybody that I've been divorced twice.
Okay.
Did you say Indianapolis?
Yes, that's what. And I just want to say officially, I don't do the zodiac stuff. So I don't.
Well, but it's right on for those who do.
It is. Yeah, and I don't like people knowing when my birthday is. Makes me sure to steal my identity.
I know, right?
Well, they out here.
They really are.
But no, let's move on to Moni. What are your love languages?
So my love languages are, I like acts of service. I'm big on that, and I think
because you do a lot.
Oh, because I do a lot, and it's the same thing. I think it's interesting that you're saying like I for me, I want them to feel what I feel, right? Like you want to share that. So for me, I'm always like I want to make everything I do special. Like I like to be very thoughtful. So if like say for instance, I'm planning something for like my husband and I's anniversary, like I'm doing all the stuff I wish he would do, basically. You know what I mean? But
so
it's like,
when he does step in and he fills your cup up with acts of service, what does that do for you?
oh, it's everything.
Yeah.
You hearing that, baby? He knows though, but he's good because we've been together for so years, so he knows.
So let me ask you this: you guys have obviously read the book a few times. Is he acutely aware of your love language, and and practices it consistently to fill that cup up all
That
the
feels
time?
like a trick question. He's trying to give me
Look,
stuff.
and you know he's gonna be watching this too, so don't worry.
Do we know that?
I got you.
Because I was my eyes are searching, baby.
It's switching.
You're doing everything great. No, I like to be transparent. That's one thing about, because, you know, the gift giving thing, like in the beginning of our relationship, like he would give me stuff. It was really cute because I remember one time he bought me pearl earrings.
Okay.
We were like 12, not 12, I always say 12.
I was about to say, what kind of pearls
we were
at
in high
12 we
school.
got?
I was maybe 17 though.
Okay.
And I was like, you're buying me grandma jewelry? Like, it's pearls. Like, I'm not this sophisticated yet. I don't feel like
Gotcha.
we've graduated to pearls. And I remember just being like, I mean, thank you. But also I was disappointed. And then as time moved on, I remember he bought me another piece of jewelry. Like the jewelry he buys it's nice, but it's just not my
Gotcha.
taste. So I had to say something. I did. I said something. I was like, babe.
But that's what a smart person does, though. They have those uncomfortable conversations when it's not really.
That's why she's still married.
Probably. I was like, let's just go together and look at stuff so
That
I
was
can
the hint.
show you. Yeah, you know what I
Okay.
mean? Because even sometimes the stuff I would pick from him, we just have different tastes in general.
I love how you
everything.
communicated that, though, because, you know, in the love languages, how you communicate the love language plays a big part, because it's a completely different way you could have had that conversation. You could have been like, babe, I'm just saying, you know, you out here getting me these pearls, and that just really ain't, you know, and that probably would have put him
I didn't even
off.
say nothing about the pearls till years later, because I had to build up to being
Right,
able to feel
because
like I could
it's
say
still
it.
super rude.
Because it did.
Because
I'm
you know
like,
he got that with his whole heart.
But then it's like, if I'm not wearing
Not
them.
half of it, hold it, his whole
His
heart.
whole
I
No,
wouldn't-
it was
you know
with his
what?
whole heart.
But like, as someone who wore pearl earrings to their high school graduation,
Yeah, I was like, who doesn't?
like that's traditionally what you're supposed to wear when you graduate.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
See,
either. You put
you're the
things-
only person that knows
Yes.
about this.
I guess
stuff.
I was the only one
We're
reading
girls to the
Vogue in
graduation.
high school.
grandma over here. Yeah.
Yes,
This
like
promise to keep over here
Breaking news.
with her pearls on. Like,
Seriously,
yes.
that's breaking news.
It's usually a gift. You usually get pearls as a graduation gift, and then you wear them to graduation.
he's classier than me. I was
Say, who giving pearl gifts to graduations?
I know, because you usually
I got
wear
Old
white.
Country buffet for graduation.
It's like you better get that plate in that graduation food. That's so funny.
And all you can eat, but no, it does get tricky though, like in those spaces, because I feel like my ex that was his love language, and so I felt so bad because he would want to surprise me, and it would be a situation where it's like we should just go together because you're not as good at guessing as you think you are.
That is so true. It's like you flatter yourself.
That is so
You try
sad.
yourself.
There's nothing worse than a guy putting all his effort and energy like, yeah, she gonna I'm
Yeah,
gonna kill him with this
girls.
one and
Yeah.
then
It's
again.
like, nah, son.
That's not
It's right.
There's nothing more heartbreaking
Right,
to me.
and that's why you have to like soft pedal
Be
and be
nice.
like,
Yeah.
okay, look, because that was in, I feel like that was a storyline on The Office where Pam was talking about how like Jim, like basically the jury men buy you don't like, and her husband was like, except for that necklace I got you for Christmas, right? She was like, oh no, I love that, yeah.
And then
And
Was
it's
she
like-
telling- was she telling the truth?
No,
Oh, she's
those
like-
are lies. Lies are the glue that keeps society together.
they are, but I think that at some point the truth does have to come out, because it's too hard to sustain over time. Like I
Sure.
can't, like a 30-year lie. Like I don't want to pretend for 30 years that I like
But I
this
mean,
jewelry.
just the challenge though.
Because I can't be fake for that long.
I don't want
It's
to find
very
out in
hard.
30 years that I got you bad jurry, so
Listen,
We
we're gonna let
lie-
her
we
say it
lie,
right
right?
now off camera.
Am I
Thumbs
doing
up or
good
thumbs
in that
down.
department?
Then be honest. Look.
Don't lie.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm alright.
Okay.
At least you're honest.
And it's going
But I'm
toward
for it though. I like it.
I'm
But it's
just
not
making
something I wear
sure.
every day.
See?
I like it.
I know, because you don't wear it every day.
See,
so
so
thanks
for
being
the
honest.
listener, for the
Color.
podcast listeners, you can't hear it, but
She
there's
gave
a
one
little.
It was
It's
like
I got the-
it was like a
I got the muscle minerals, you know.
In the
I see,
middle.
I see, you know.
Comme ci, comme ça. So
it's hard. is
It's
what
rather.
I'm saying.
I'd rather know now than 30
But
years
one of
later.
our-
Like, hey, you remember that?
But one of our favorite male
I like
authors, Eddie Huang, one of his best quotes is, "The truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off."
Boom.
Yeah. big
So
facts.
if you know that going into relationships, like just do that little cooling off period. It's like, she said that to me, and then it'll be like, you know what though, that's her truth.
It is. It's her. I mean, I
Oh
think.
my gosh, it's so cute. Oh, I can't believe you got me this. She's ugly.
But-
And then you're telling all your
And
friends.
here's the other thing with gifts, like I'm so good to myself.
That part. I mean, I'm not
Real
waiting
talk.
for you to get it.
Like
Yeah.
real
Love
talk,
yourself first,
like
right?
it would take so
Yeah.
much for you to outdo me.
I'm with you.
Because I know me more. It's just easier.
Yeah.
I've been told that I'm also hard to like shop and gift for too.
Why? I feel like you
Because
just get gift cards. Boom.
No, yes.
Is that
Well,
thoughtful enough?
well, the crazy thing, like one of the best gifts I ever received was actually a photo album. So I don't think that it necessarily has like a monetary thing tied to it.
Oh, it was an old photo album, or
It was like a Father's Day photo album.
Okay.
And it was just a bunch of pictures and memories of like me and my daughter. That was like literally one of the best gifts I ever got.
So how old is your daughter?
She's 16.
So what's her love language?
Ooh.
I don't know, and I don't want to know. It's a way
Well,
to-
between you and her though. Yeah.
Because not all love is romantic.
Yeah.
Because I do.
Okay, yeah, you have a very valid point. Let's see, for her, she's a very dynamic individual.
Okay.
She's multifaceted. There's some parts of me that she carries, and some parts of me that couldn't be further from me. Like I'm a huge extrovert. She's a very big introvert. She doesn't like to be out in the open, seeing anything like that.
So you're embarrassing, is what I'm hearing.
No.
Okay.
She wouldn't even know because she's not on that.
Yeah, but we spent a lot of time together though.
That's good.
So let's see. For her, what would be her
Is
love
she
language?
by any chance like artistic?
She's creative. She's artistic. She likes to draw. She's in animation.
How do I know? How do I know?
She wants to go to college at this point for like digital animation or maybe graphic
Let's
design. Oh, let me tell you, we have graduated over the years. This girl had a Wacom tablet at 5.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, so she
Oh,
trust me,
the
we
best.
graduated in that department.
See, so she's gonna be hard to impress. I like that's what you have.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite like memes is like I'm always doing great things, you know, for my daughter and taking her all these places, so she ain't gonna be impressed with your little dusty trip to Las Vegas one day. Like, let me tell you, that's my queen right there.
So
She
she's
gets
never
everything.
gonna fall in love. Because
No,
No,
she's
not
gonna have
true.
to come
Not
correct.
true.
She's just gonna have to
That's
come.
the whole. But I'm
That's-
just saying, like,
But
To
that part,
impress me, you have to do
That
more than
part.
what my daddy did.
how many impressive niggas have you met out here?
None. That's
Oh,
why I'm
that's
single.
it's a
I
sad
mean, I'm
answer.
sorry. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm kidding. I've met a couple.
There are-
No, there are men who are out there willing to do
But no,
things.
she's
just
an
not
only
most of them.
she's an only child, so that's all
That's
we
what's
had.
up.
And the way
Shout
that I
out here
grew
to
up-
the only children.
Yeah,
That's
so
how I live.
the way I grew up without a dad, like I just decided very early on that when I do have a kid, they're
You'll
gonna
be
be the
super
complete
dad.
opposite of so I'm
That's what's up.
super dad all day. So she goes with me on all the vacations. We do all things
Here, this is
together.
our drink. Shout out to Ring Generational Curse right here.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Well, I love that. Okay.
Hold on, I gotta get to her love language. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's a very interesting
Oh, I
question.
can
I never
already
thought
tell
her
you.
in that manner. Let's see. It ain't gonna be no physical touch. I can promise you that.
Well, man, she don't like getting hugs from you. She's not.
She
really
doesn't.
affectionate
She
like
doesn't
that.
like hugs from anybody. It's the weirdest.
Yeah.
Well, it's strangers. Strangers. She doesn't like hugs from
I
strangers.
don't either. That's the worst.
She
wants
she
that?
does not like people touching her like at all
I don't
whatsoever.
like that too. I
She
don't
sounds
like that.
fantastic. Can
I
I
love
tell
her.
you, as a
She's something
digital
else.
illustrator
Right.
myself, she
Her
sounds
name's
fabulous.
Mayla.
My little holler does.
Yeah.
Really?
So gifts. She likes gifts, but she's. I think I spoiled her way too much. Where sometimes I be more excited about the gift than she is, and she's like, okay, yeah, it's cool. It's like 1 hour later, like it's over the corner
we're
somewhere.
done. Yeah.
Can we sell this on Facebook Marketplace, Daddy? Like she's. Words of affirmation. I don't necessarily see that. I mean, she's a very intelligent girl. She's very smart.
Did
Even
she
when I
would
give her
love our
compliments,
podcast? Make sure you put her on.
If I give her compliments, she's like she has this cool mentality, right?
Okay.
Whatever you do,
I'm
she's
sure,
like cool,
sure.
cool, it's cool. Man, gifts. This is
What about
tough.
quality time?
Yeah.
That
Because I'm
for
like,
sure.
you're a busy dad.
You know, the
so-
crazy thing is we do have a lot of great, amazing quality time. When we're with each other, like phones are minimum. That's a really
awesome.
cool part. On them, but they're minimum. And we do have a lot of great conversations, and we do enjoy that time we spend together. The cool thing is, like, it's really quality. It's not like we just sitting there doing nothing. Like, there's always an agenda. We're always going somewhere, even if it's just food related, you know. But we love having fun. We're big adventurous. So anything that has to do with anything fun, put our name on it and we there.
Okay. So maybe it's the quality time.
I would say so. If I'm using process of elimination, I say quality time is probably her.
Because I think that's my secondary one too. I think I like quality time because it's one thing to have
I mean, quite
fun.
honestly, I want all the things.
That's the
Like-
so that's the
But one has to
what's the main
supersede the
one?
other,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. When one's like I said, the ones that are.
It's not all or nothing. It's not you win or lose. It's a blend, but there's one that speaks to you more than the other ones, and then everything else.
Because if I never got another gift, I'd be fine. But if I never got another hug, like I would be sad. Yeah, I would be very sad.
All by your lonesome.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so instead of rereading the book, what I did was I went onto Amazon reviews and just read.
You got the cheat code.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I tell you, like, I always forget how amazing Amazon reviews are. I could read a book of Amazon reviews.
What's the word on the
People turn them into blogs about their lives.
Yeah. That's the dope part about it,
Yeah. Is it dope? Or is it?
No, it's dope. It's dope.
It's amazing.
You get the flip. I mean, we live in a very busy world, right? So you want the highlight reel. You don't want all the fluff. You want give me the meat and potatoes. I don't care for the.
It's just you don't expect to find it there because you're just looking for a review about this book, but instead people are telling you like their struggles with like surviving cancer and reconnecting with their parents. Like it's like a blog, and so I was like, oh, this is amazing, and it's always great. It's wow because the 1-star reviews are where you find all of this stuff. Like the 5-star reviews, those are cool too, and those will be really long. And I was like, I wish I had more time.
I tried to give my wife some more gifts, and she still left me.
No, we don't even get into that. Like it had like something like 90,000 reviews, so I didn't even get to scratch the surface. But like the top ones that got liked the most, those are like usually the longer ones, and it is wild. So I'll tell you this, a lot of people when they were coming for your boy Gary because they were like, yes, he has a PhD, but he's not a psychologist. They were
that's the pessimistic people though, right?
These were the 1-star people.
Like
so they were the 5-star people. They were like, oh my goodness. Because to me what's amazing about the book is that because we're all the first person narrator in our stories. And so it makes us think about how other people are perceiving our actions. I think that's what was powerful about it, was because it's like, oh, let me think about how this is looking from someone else's point of view. Because I'm just thinking about it for me, because of course I want to hug you. Like, I wouldn't know what it's like for somebody who doesn't want hugs.
I don't always want hugs.
Fair.
I
always hug you.
Like, I like hugs. But there's like, I have a limit. I do have a limit, and I think, like having kids has like really challenged how much physical touch I can like endure. Because
you have very huggy kids.
Oh my God, they're so affectionate. But with them, it's easy though. Like with them, it's easy, and so I can be that way with them. But like not everybody. Like that includes my husband too. Because sometimes I'm like, okay.
You hit the husband with the Heisman?
Sometimes.
Really?
They be swerving each other.
What's his love language? Have y'all, speaking of it's 2 questions. Number 1, have y'all talked about it engagingly? And 2, if so, what is his? So whether he told you or you have to guess.
So I sent him the link thing. He's a busy guy, so he hasn't had a chance to fill it out. But if I had to guess, which I'm interested to see if I'm correct, I would say that quality time and physical touch are his.
Okay.
Followed by a close the affirmation words of affirmation.
Okay.
He liked that too. He's not big on gifts.
Okay.
But yeah, like I just feel like especially with the
husband, comment and let me know if she's right. I'm gonna be watching.
Yeah. I think that his is definitely the if I had to say primary, just time. Because I'm a busybody and I'm always doing stuff.
So the time y'all get to spend
and he's
together.
always like, come sit, and I'm like, I got too much to do.
Right.
I got a lot to do right now. I don't have people helping me with this stuff. So it can be hard for me to do that. But when I do set aside the time, I try, like it's like, okay, this is our time. Like what you're
quality
saying.
Quality,
the quality, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then the physical touch, but yeah, it's just like the hands get sweaty. And it's like it's hot.
You work too hard, baby. Your cuticles is.
No, he's got soft hands. It's just. Like at a certain point, it's just like I need my space.
Babe, you go.
No,
babe, why you telling people I got manicure cuticles?
No, his hands are probably softer than mine, but no, it's not that, guys. It's not that. But yeah, for me, and it's not like because I didn't get it from my parents. I feel like my mom is super affectionate. You know what I mean? It's just personally, it's not like I don't have to have it constantly. Like I can do it in doses. It's fine. You know what I mean? But when you have it, it is nice. Like it's the quality of it. Like I don't have to constantly be like, it's like, okay.
You know what? I had an ex. I'm not saying which one, but I remember one time because I just wanted to hold hands while we were walking, and he said that was gay.
Oh, wow. Man, N-words are the worst.
Everything is gay.
That sounds like Riley from Boondocks.
Nigga, that's gay. Nigga, that's gay. Everything.
Oh my god.
I was like, I'm a woman.
All right. Let's say that, you guys. I kind of wanted to get into how food and love languages kind of intersect. I thought that was a really dope sort of intersection or whatever. So.
Wait, real quick. Do you cook?
No.
Did you see his face? Oh
No.
my god.
Like, how dare I ask that?
No.
First of all.
You better put some respect on my stomach. I do not cook at all.
that
Real quick.
Listen, I cook breakfast.
Listen, his significant other.
A little bit.
Okay.
More
No,
than him.
I eat.
Yes.
I eat. That's what I do. I eat.
Fair.
I don't cook. No.
I feel okay.
What do you feel? No, cause
Go ahead. I mean, everybody got opinions. It's all good. I respect
What
it.
do you feel, friend?
I feel like, because I like to eat too. Like, I feel like that's one of the things we bonded over. Like, where it's like, yeah, we should always have calories so we're not grumpy.
Exactly.
But I feel like the only reason I learned how to cook because I like to eat. But I mean, but maybe you just got it like that.
Nah, it's just, I was like growing up, food was just like it was what it was. Like when you grow up on the south side of Chicago, like and you live in an underprivileged area, like food is a scarcity. You know what I mean? It's not like you eating good all the time and you got a 3-course meal on your plate every single day. So it just
syrup
was what it was.
sandwiches.
You know what I'm saying?
It's giving syrup sandwiches. Okay,
You know what I mean? So, you know, for the longest times, I remember like advancing in my career, and you know, it's all about your surroundings and who you surround yourself by. Like, all I know is what I know. I'm from the south side of Chicago. That's how I grew up. Yeah, you mean the normal stuff. But when you start like elevating in life and exposing yourself to different kind of foods and surrounding yourself with different type of people, you expand that palate. And then that's when food started to become interesting to me. Like, for example, when it comes to steak.
Okay,
When you grow up, you're a well done steak dude. Like if you grow up in the hood, hey, I want that steak done. I don't want to see no pink, no nothing, right? You know what I mean? Right, and then you eating sirloins or worser your whole life, right? But right, you know what I'm saying? But when that's all you know, that's all you know. It is what it is. You put some A1, exactly. You put some A1 on it, you good, right? You put some A1 on it and you good, right?
Use it up one time.
But it's not until, and this is funny because this is actually how Traveling Foodie Guyde came about. It's not until you get uncomfortable and expose yourself to something new and different, and you try something
why
different.
is it pink in the middle?
Right, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that ain't done. You better put that back on it some more. Like my preferred steak of choice right now is a medium fillet, but growing up from a well done sirloin, I've never seen that.
Ask you, like, so why did you want to learn how to make that? Because when I tasted one, the first thing I was like, I need to learn how to make this at home.
Because time is very important to me, and I would rather extend my resources for people to do things that I don't want to do, so that the time that I do have available, I get to spend doing what I want to do. That's why.
Can I give you a pro tip real quick? I bet if you gave your daughter some tools, she would make you a steak that is out of
Oh, she does. She does
Oh,
cook.
okay.
Yeah.
Of
Her mom cooks good, so she learned from her mom. So slight white lie. When I cook, it's me and her. Like we're in the kitchen together, experimenting, spending that quality time with each other, doing it right. So I'll text her one day, like, "Yo, look up a recipe right now, and when I get off of work, I'm gonna come grab you. We're gonna go to the stove. We're gonna get the ingredients, and we're gonna be in the kitchen cooking together." But that's like few and far between. That's just like a good quality time spent with each other. That's not happening every day.
All the time.
So does she make a tip? But I'm telling you, like you get that tenderloin from GMC and like treat it real nice.
I just, like I said, I would rather, my time is very important, so the time that I do spend, I just want to allocate the things that I don't want to do to other people so that I can spend my available time doing what I love.
That's how I feel about paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do the paperwork.
That's how I feel about paperwork. And I'll make a steak.
Yeah. Well, I'll make a steak too, but
You
like
will.
she'll
Yeah,
do
she'll
the
just
editing.
do
I'm not doing that.
No.
But no, I like that. I like you know, I'm trying to get to that point. I'm trying to outsource a lot of stuff I'm doing.
Yeah.
So like my relationship with love and food is that, you know, it is a primary way that I feel like my family shows love.
Okay.
So but at the same time, I know when I learned how to cook initially, I didn't always feel no love. It felt oppressive. It felt like
like you can taste it in the food.
It didn't taste like love, and then there's a difference. And like I was getting phone calls where my mom, you know, like we had actually moved to Indy.
From where?
from Detroit.
Okay.
Shout out
The
to
D.
D-Town, it's called the D.
Shout out to the D.
But it was. But I mean, at the time she's a single parent, so
Okay.
it's like you got to chip in and help. So I'm getting phone calls like, you need to put on potatoes though. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You put on taters. Go ahead and get them sides going. Go ahead and get that meat out there, fridge, season it up.
Okay.
And I was like, so I hate this a lot. I don't like it. And this feels like a job. And so it wasn't until I was older that I could appreciate the fact that she forced me to do it, because I never wasn't like naturally interested in being in the kitchen. Even though I was like you, I just want people to do it for me. I like that. What's wrong with that? But when you're a girl, sometimes that's a problem. If I just want somebody to cook for me, it's
I never said that's a problem.
no, I'm not saying you said that. The world
No, I'm
said
sorry.
it.
I don't want no looks.
The world said it. And so my thing is like, I want somebody to cook for me too. Because I grew up with granddads that cook. I grew up with uncles that cook. My brothers cook. My dad cooks. Like, men cook in my family. So, yeah, anyway, I mean, I appreciate the skill and I like to do it when I can. But like at this point, cooking it's a labor of love right now.
Yeah, and I'm at a point in my life where now that I've gotten the opportunity to taste some of the finest things, I'm not about to go in there and try to recreate that. Like, when I taste real good food, I know they put the love into it, and it took them forever to come up with this recipe to perfect it, to make it this deliciousness that I'm about to endure. And you expect me on round one to recreate that? Oh no. I don't have the time to perfect this and try this 7, 8, 9, 10 different times to get it to taste like that.
Well, that's when OCD comes in handy.
Nah, I'm already OCD. I'm already OCD enough, and I ain't about to turn my
Just
kitchen
not about
into
that. It's funny and
Yeah.
like what you apply it to.
But like you said, you're an extrovert. I think
Yeah.
for people who are introverts, I'm like, what can I do in the house?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, and cooking takes a lot of time. So like for introverts, cooking's a great hobby. I'll say
Kudos to y'all then, because that ain't me at all
Thank
whatsoever.
you. But going out is fun too. But that's usually just so I get ideas for stuff I want to do at home.
Yeah, just for a little while when I'm ready to go back home. Yeah, it's like I'm weird. I feel like I'm a nice blend. Like I'm definitely
You're
extroverted.
definitely good.
But at a certain point
Yeah.
though, I'm like, I can't do it no more, y'all. I gotta go home.
So check this out. The cool thing about it is like, since words of affirmation is my primary love language, and I know how I feel when I get that, with me being an extrovert and going out and having the opportunity to meet like executive chefs and things like that prepare these foods for me, when I give them their words of affirmation and compliment their dishes, now their battery is refilled, because I know how that feels, and like I said, that reciprocation is very important.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of it, because who wants to like slave over the stove in the kitchen for years and years and years and finally put this masterpiece together to put it in front of somebody, and then finally they're like, it's mediocre, it's okay, right? You know what I mean?
Let's talk about Yelp real quick, because most times people just want to complain. Like people
Yeah.
aren't going to take the time
Yeah.
out to express gratitude, and because it takes so much work to just maintain a good standard, not even an excellent one.
Yeah.
And so no one's ever going to praise you for like, hey, you did okay today. That's so much work.
Thank you.
You know, that's really the primary reason. It's transitioned into the primary reason of why I do what I do. When I first started out doing the whole foodie thing, right? It never had an intention of having the impact of what it's having right now. I literally wanted to get outside my comfort zone, try different foods from all over the world, record my reactions to it, and just build a following off of it so that, you know, I could travel for free and eat for free wherever I went, because I like to travel. However, in this journey, I learned that a lot of restaurants, like during COVID, went out of business, they went into the red, they weren't making money. And now that I've built this following, I have an opportunity to help promote the businesses. Like, I've literally become a bridge between the business and the consumer. Like, I'm the person that's connecting the business to the customers, and the customer exposing the customers to the businesses. So people are like, I've been living in Indy my whole life and I never even knew like this existed, right? So now I get an opportunity to help support our local economy and bring, like, if I try something for the first time and it's amazing, you're gonna see that my reaction, I'm gonna brag and I'm gonna tell the world about it, as opposed to the Yelp where you're just like demeaning and tearing it down. Like, I'm all about uplifting and bringing people together. Like, that's just in my natural DNA, and I have the ability to do that through food now. So that's why, like, the shirt that says food is my love language, like, it's really one of my favorite shirts, because it's true. It's not for the love of the taste of the food, it's actually what it does. This food is so good that I want to tell the world about it and expose other people to it. So this chef that put his blood, sweat, and tears into this gets to share it with the world and reap all the benefits from it.
Because like you said, like this, it becomes like a bridge. Because when you're talking, it reminds us of when we talk about podcasting. Because there's so much stuff we've learned about it and know before. Because you have to get out there, and it's like, wow, there's so much talent here.
Yeah, and through this, I realized exactly what you say. Like, there's so many people that are just like so close-minded, and which was me once upon a time.
Right.
And all they need is that exposure. In some cases, they need somebody that looks like them, that talks like them,
We
to see
love
that
it.
representation to help with that exposure. Because I don't see, like, people when I'm out and about, people see me as some sort of like local celebrity, and I don't just see myself like that. I'm a regular person, just like everybody else.
You say normal?
I'm pretty normal, right? But the cool thing
You're
about
taller
it is,
than I thought.
cool, good. I need to angle my camera a little over there. But the cool thing is, like when I say people, when they say, okay, if he can do it and he looks like me and he acts like me and he talks to me, if he can do it, I can do it, right? So I give people that confidence and that extra boost to get out their comfort zone and expose people, which is ultimately what I really love.
You're like Beyonce.
Am I?
Because she always says that. She's like, if my country ass can do it.
Right.
It's like, you know
That's
what I mean?
it. And I see myself like that. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm
Because she's
still.
not like she came from grandeur. She was just
That's the
like,
whole thing.
You know, she's
She
a
worked
girl
hard.
from Houston and just put that work in, and now she's like, yeah.
If this little poor dude from the south side of Chicago can do it, like you can do it. And I preach that in so many facets of life. Like people see Traveling Foodie Guyde now, and so that's all they get to see, but they don't get to see the backstory of where I come from, how I grew up, and how I got to where I'm at. So again, if you only knew the backstory, if I could do it, you definitely can do it.
Absolutely. I think that's important to say for people too, because in this digital world, I think people are more disconnected from reality sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we like to highlight stories like this, because just like you, I mean, this is something we're just doing because we genuinely enjoy it. We love connecting with people. We love being positive representation for people who look like us, and we like having fun, and we like food and drinks, and so
speaking
this
of
is
drinks,
like,
close some more.
oh my god,
That's what I'm
we
talking
gotta do it.
about.
It's hot.
yeah, it is very
nice.
hot.
Actually, it's so hot. I think we need a break.
We can do more. You guys, we're gonna take a quick break. We're
Pause for
quick. We're
cause.
gonna get a little more food and drinks, and then we'll be right back. All right, guys. So welcome back from the break. We needed that. We need that little break real quick. All right. So you know what? Let's just get right into it. I wanted to ask you. The people want to know, like, how do you pick the restaurants that you select? You've been everywhere, so how do you kind of?
Well, actually, when I first started out, I just literally Googled and used Yelp to look for restaurants because I'm not from Indy. So, and when I first got here, all I did was work all the time, so I never exposed myself to anything. So when I dedicated myself to just saying, hey, let's see what's in my own backyard, because again, it's Traveling Foodie Guyde.
That's right.
I wanted to travel. Like when I first started doing this, I was in other states, I was in other countries, like I was doing a whole lot of other stuff. Because when I thought about Indy, I didn't think food.
I don't think anybody does.
Right. So then I had to just say, hey, let me just look at my own backyard. So at first, I literally just door knocked. I looked on Google. I Googled like, what's the craziest food in Indy? What's the wildest food? Like I just looked, and then I just started trying a few different places. I was literally door knocking, and at that point, I was building my resume. I knew I needed to create content, so I was just looking and searching and Googling. Once my audience started building, then that's when the emails and the DMs started coming to me, and they started looking at me. Hey, come do my restaurant. Come do my restaurant. So I still literally get multiple emails a day, multiple DMs a day. My audience recommends a lot of places for me to try now too. So my outgoing effort at this point, like I still look for restaurants. My girlfriend, she helps me now. She's my assistant because the account has grown so big. She helps me to search for restaurants. So it's just a really big combination, but the majority of the time, there's restaurants that's emailing me every day saying, hey, come.
So if you have an inbox full of people who are like, yo, come holler at me, how do you pick though?
I mean, it's an equal opportunity when it comes to food. I don't discriminate.
Okay.
Absolutely. And again, you have to think about why though. It's all about exposing myself to new things. There's food, there's places like I'll get a DM or I'll get an email and I'll look, okay, let me go see what y'all look like. And at first I'm like, I don't. But then I'm like, okay, think about why you started this in the first place, to expose yourself. You'll never know if this could possibly be the most like beautiful thing you ever tasted in your life.
You from the south side of Chicago. You gonna tell me you ain't never walked into a restaurant with bulletproof glass and been like, I don't know about this, and you have the most succulent food you've ever had in your life?
Yeah, but I don't want to put nobody out there like that, so I ain't gonna say who, but absolutely.
Okay,
but again, my taste buds don't discriminate.
Right.
We trying it all. I had to expose myself to oysters, and that was.
What's the verdict?
What's wrong with oysters?
What do you mean? What's wrong with them? They slimy. They have the consistency of snot.
No, have you baked?
So I did. Okay, so I had tried raw oysters first. Terrible experience. Great restaurant, but terrible experience. Then I had oyster Rockefeller, and that changed my mind. I was like, okay, I can do this.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. When I had oyster Rockefeller, I was like, I can definitely do this.
Because it got cheese on it.
Man, shout out. You put cheese on anything.
Cheese.
Shout out to the Real Ass Book Club who exposed me to oysters Rockefeller.
Rockefeller's oyster, like raw, nah.
Parmesan cheese.
Because it is, of course, when you said oysters, I'm thinking about like fried. But
Right,
there's
see,
the shell ones that you
Yeah,
know.
It's not that classy. We talked about that earlier. Y'all must.
I'm talking about the old days when we went to like back in those days.
I tried them, but
I can't
I'm
do
like
the
you.
ones
I
where
can't
the
do
consistency
texture
is snot.
I
Like,
got
no,
you.
it's
I'm
bad.
saying I
Yeah.
don't enjoy.
But
them.
crazy enough, like I enjoy caviar. I do. Caviar. I tried my first caviar in Santorini, and I was like, yo, I actually like this.
Not international.
Hey, they don't call me traveling foodie.
Passport stamps. I like it. I can't. That's a bucket list place for me. All the Greek islands.
You love it.
because I love Mediterranean food. It's one of my
Oh
favorite.
yeah,
Like
they got it now. Can I tell you like a super quick story?
Please,
About
tell me.
So I go on this little food cruise in Santorini, right? And my daughter, she's with me, and we're eating shrimp. Now over there, it ain't shrimp like over here.
No. The heads ain't cut off.
Oh no,
They're
you
not
getting
finger peeled.
you getting the
You
thing
get the
straight out of
full
that. Like they going
thing.
into the ocean, they gonna pick it up, they gonna cook it right there.
And they
Ain't no
want to show it to
deveined
you
or
to
nothing
show
like
that
that,
it's
right?
like fresh.
This girl, we sitting there, we eating shrimp, and we just talking, having a good time. We on a cruise. She's giving me this face like, I'm like, yo, what's wrong? I was like, the sauce on the shrimp is just crazy. I look over, I said, that ain't no sauce, that's poop. You should have seen
Like,
her
this sauce
face.
is
Like,
the worst.
her
Okay?
face turned so green.
It's like
and
that's
we,
the poop strip in its
yeah, so
back.
the rest of the time we were on vacation, I was like, how that shrimp poop sauce
No,
sandwich.
ew.
It was crazy. She gonna kill me for telling y'all this,
But
but
listen, she didn't know what she didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
it's a funny story that we joke about all the
my
time.
God.
But yeah,
Yeah.
shrimp is definitely different outside of the U.S.
Seafood in
Oh, yeah.
general, like they will give you, because like it's like when you get served seafood somewhere else, especially when they're known for seafood, you get a like say a fillet of fish.
Oh yeah.
The head is on it because
Absolutely.
they want you to see that the eyes are clear.
Oh,
that
yeah.
indicates that it's
Mhm.
fresh.
And the eyeball is the best part.
I'm not eating the eyeball.
Nah, you shouldn't. The eyeball's the best part.
So no.
That's
Mm,
usually
we
for the
not.
guests
She's
to
alone
buy.
on
I
this
know.
one.
Now
She by
the cheeks.
herself.
Now the cheeks I heard were delicious.
True.
But
And that's
I'm
of
not
any
eyeballs.
animal.
Okay, well, I don't know, but the eyeballs, I don't recommend it. But
I don't recommend
yeah,
eyeballs.
I don't recommend those. Those aren't fabric.
I'm with you.
At
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Cat likes that, but
I'm just
Yeah.
saying what I've heard. I've never actually ate a fish eyeball. That's just what they say. Like,
my gosh.
that's what Miley Cyrus
Don't let
said.
her trip y'all up on words. Don't let her get y'all.
Those were not words back.
That did
We
not
don't
come
like
from
that.
the foodie
We
guy.
don't like it. So you guys, let's segue really quick before we run out of time. I wanted to do, so I came up with like a little foodie love language quiz that I
Okay.
thought would be fun to do.
All right, let's shoot. Let me get my drink
and
ready.
So basically, this quiz is going to explore how foods align with different aspects of love languages, storytelling, and the art of experiencing food, which
Okay.
we've been talking about. So basically, I'm going to ask you these questions.
Let's
Each answer has like a point
You
value.
have to be honest.
Of
Be
course.
honest, it's not a winning
I'm
or
on
losing
FAB,
thing.
yeah.
Absolutely.
No, you Chicago.
That's
Nah.
right.
No, we don't group
Stereotypes,
people.
we don't.
We don't
I'm
group
trying,
people.
I'm trying to be better than that. Okay, so Kat's gonna keep score real quick. And then
Oh,
we'll-
right.
Yeah, see,
It's not right or wrong, but I will be scored.
you'll be scored. Well, so we can find out your food
All right.
love language.
All right, so let's
That's
figure
the
it out.
only objective here. So, when you're experiencing a new dish, you focus on what? Describing the flavors and textures, noticing presentation and creativity, appreciating the ingredients, the atmosphere, or capturing the essence through words and visuals.
I feel like C and D is very
So
important because
appreciating the ingredients and then the atmosphere. And
yes,
the emotion.
those are the two most important
You gotta
things to
pick
me.
one. You can only
Well,
choose
it's food, so I gotta go with the ingredients. I gotta go with
ingredients. Okay, so that's C.
I got it.
Okay. All right. So next question: what aspect would you highlight if you were writing a food review? The top thing, right?
Okay.
So delighted taste buds and senses,
Okay.
artistic presentation and styling, the story behind the ingredients, the ambiance and mood, or transporting the readers through words?
So funny. I gotta go with A, but both of those questions really hit two of the major things, though. But I'm gonna go with A. Because when you talk about the ambiance, like when food is more of an experience for me, and that's why I like to go out. So it's all about, is the food good, and am I really enjoying the setting and experience?
Okay.
That's what it's about for me.
All right, I like this. We're digging into the mind of
Yeah.
the foodie guy right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so question 3. If you are gifted with a culinary experience, what do you value the most?
Okay.
So the symphony of flavors that you're experiencing, the crafting and styling of the dish, the thoughtfulness behind the ingredients, sharing that experience with loved ones, or describing through expressive language?
That one, sharing it with loved ones.
Sharing, okay.
Yeah, because I don't cook,
That
so
was
when
the
I
right
do
answer.
cook,
Good job.
I want to.
There's wrong answers.
It's
That you would have fell through the floor.
it's an experience. If I'm going to cook, I want it to be an experience with the people I love.
Okay. All right. I like it. Let's see. So question number 4: sharing a meal with someone you care about.
Okay.
Okay. Do you care more about the conversation about the flavors of the food, admiring the artistic presentation of the food, enhancing the ingredients, or exchanging ingredient stories? So talking about the ingredients and how they came about, creating the memories with the person you're with, or capturing the essence through words?
And you said I'm sharing with someone.
So this is
else.
like if you're sharing a meal with somebody that you care about, say your significant other, your daughter.
What was the
whoever.
second to last one?
Second to last was creating cherished memories.
That one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. And last question: when reviewing a food experience on social media, the most important aspect is to share a sensory journey, showcasing visual beauty, highlighting meaningful ingredients, recounting emotions, or painting a verbal picture.
Painting a verbal picture. That's
Okay.
what it's like. I'm telling a story. Like what I do on social media is basically storytelling. You know, I want people to feel and experience what I experience, and I want that to draw them to want to come and experience what I experience. That's a big part of what I do.
I think you nailed it.
Yeah, this is where I went. This is how it made me feel, and I think that you should experience this too. That's what it's about. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're going to tally up this score. Kat, what do we have here?
All right.
What's
13.
the number? So 13. So you're falling in the 10 to 14 points range, which is shared culinary moments, which is
Okay.
quality time.
Oh,
So that's your foodie love language.
I just learned something about myself.
Yeah.
Food love
Yeah.
language is quality time.
Yeah.
It's all about sharing that experience with the people I love. Yeah, I can dig that.
I mean,
like
social
that,
media is about sharing.
Yeah,
so
it
that
is. And let me
tracks
tell you,
big time.
my foodie follower, fan, cult, like my ride or dies, let me tell you, I love
That's awesome.
my followers. I really do love, like y'all, like I'm from the south side of Chicago, but Indianapolis made Traveling Foodie Guyde for real. Yeah,
Indianapolis.
seriously.
We love it. I think this is a great, I will say that too. I mean, even with us in our podcasting journey, I mean, we've been doing this we're on our 3rd year now.
Yeah.
And I mean, even just like reaching out with you, this has been connecting and spending quality time with the people
Yeah.
and the creators in the city has been super dope. And it's a lot of love.
And you got something to say. Like, the crazy thing is, like, I moved here on a job promotion, and so my
Talking
expectation,
shit.
my
Not promoting.
my
humble
expectation
brag.
for indie was just like, I didn't really have one. It was just like a good economy. That's the only thing I thought about when I thought about indie. Hey, the property taxes is good, and they got a stable economy, right? But as I've lived here and exposed myself to different people, I exposed myself to different artists in the art space, in the culinary division. I got a chance to know like really cool people in here in Indy, and Indy's got something to say for real, and I love having my platform to be able to expose that, especially in the food space. But let me tell you, Indy's got some dope artists here and creators.
Don't tell us.
So, are you going to butter?
Yeah.
So funny, I already, I'm
We're talking
absolutely.
about cooking.
Absolutely.
Great.
Have I always been an advocate for butter?
She's a
Even
patron
before,
saint of butter.
Yeah.
even before it was an art
Yes.
festival, I've been a big advocate for
Yes.
butter.
All right, well, this is awesome. You guys, we are running out of time, unfortunately. Listen, we have so much fun every single time that it's hard to say goodbye.
It is.
It is fun.
Are you gonna say? I was gonna wonder if you were gonna sing it. Where your
Yes.
harmony at?
To say goodbye
To yesterday. You better hit it right.
Ooh, I'll let them do it. That's so beautiful. Oh my
You're welcome.
You guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Let's rate the book really quickly here.
Oh, I'm gonna just give it 3 out of 5. Because to me, it's not really scientific, but it's cool. Like, it's a good introduction. But if you really want to know about how people work,
3 out of 5 what?
Jamaican patties.
Okay,
Yeah,
I like Jamaican patties. We do. Okay, so if I have to rate the book, I'm giving it 3.5. I think that this book has some overall really good like insights as far as like communication and really taking yourself out the equation and thinking about how other people feel and receive love. But also too, there was one part I ain't like when he was talking about you should be with abusive people and like it was real. I really love that. So I couldn't give you a 5. It was kind of, but also I can see why it's a popular book.
Yeah. It's important to see how people see stuff.
It is.
What's your rating?
I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5.
Okay.
And I give it a 5 out of 5 because it has the ability to change people's lives. That's why. I love the synopsis where the testimonies where people are like, this was life changing. I was on the brink of divorce and this ended up like saving it and life is beautiful afterwards. So it's life changing. I give it a 5.
That's close.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, you know what? We're gonna end it right here. Thank you so much for being with us, Traveling Foodie Guyde. Let people know where they can find you.
Instagram, TikTok, Traveling Foodie Guyde, Guyde. Go follow your boy.
I like it. All right, guys. Let's get out of here. Peace.
Before we go, we must give thanks to Urban Nerd for providing our music, and legal services were handled by Trezanae M. Atkins. If you like what you heard, please feel free to join us every Wednesday for another fake-ass book club. Cheers.
Thank you guys for listening. You can check us out at thefabpodcast.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We want to hear from you. Come put it in our life. Thanks again, and until next time, peace, love, and the Fake Ass Book Club. We out.